Initializing nextlife system. System ready.
What is going on, my friends, and welcome to nextlife Live. My name is Peter William, and today we're going to be talking about a subreddit that I really do enjoy, and I find like insight, I guess I would say little bits of insight here and there. And today I was like, you know what, why not just like share some of my favorites that I've discovered just recently. So I wanted to do that. If you guys have never heard of this particular this subreddit, or you've never been on Life Pro Tips, check it out. Go on Reddit, just Life Pro Tips. I believe it's reddit.com/r/lifeprotips, and they basically have tips that will on there that people gather that improve your life for you and those around you in a specific and significant way. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of those that I found that I thought were useful. The first one being this one specifically, I believe it's this one's a very relevant one. You know, there's a lot of talk about the fake news on the internet and just like all the sensationalism with news reports. It's really hard for me to like get on social media anymore and really just trust anything without really doing, I guess I would say, thorough research to understand the credibility, or at least like what it's like, where are they referencing, and like is what I'm reading fact, or is it more of just opinion? Because I went through a couple. There's a couple beliefs out there about a lot of different things that when you look further into those beliefs, you realize they're actually based on assumptions rather than actual facts. So, and I mean, obviously that's happening all the time in politics, and so this is a period of time where we need that the most. And so this Life Pro Tip is, if you want to stay updated on some of the most important news without wading through the low-effort sensationalist headlines and politically charged fluff offered on the most news sites, check out Wikipedia's current events news portal, which offers neutral, credible, concise, and to-the-point summaries every day. So I actually had not heard about this before. I'm going to pull this up for you guys. So here's the portal. Basically just lists out kind of like what's been going on. Let's see. Today we got some armed conflicts and attacks, disasters and accidents of having international relations, law and crime. Let's look down here more. Thursday, they showed different international relations, law and crime, politics, this and that. It shows like on the right side here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna have to move this over a little bit. But on the side of it, and let me move it. Let's see if I can move that. It's not moving for me as well. Okay, here we go. So on the side there, you can see there's you can see like recent deaths, ongoing events, sports, ongoing conflicts in different countries. Let's see what else they got. Elections and referendums, trials, and they have, yeah, it's like, and you can basically look back month by month, year by year. I think this is something they've recently established, I want to say. At least it's definitely new to me. So anyways, I thought that was really useful. Something that, you know, it's like something worth checking out. So that was Life Pro Tip number 1. Let's go to number 2 here. Number 2, if you constantly vent your problems to someone, make sure to also call them when things are going well. Good listeners can sometimes get overwhelmed, and it's nice to hear positive news. Personally, being the type of person that does listen to people's advice, does listen to people vent, like I'm just kind of like that person. I'm kind of built for it. I did social work for a long time. I've worked in healing for a long time, and in alternative psychology as well. And so it's like I'm used to that, and I invite that. However, it is true. I would absolutely agree. It is very nice to hear like the positive side of things from someone who maybe comes to you as more of like you as a mentor, or as someone that they know can, that will listen. I've had situations where I've had friends or family members who it's just constant like negativity, and it's just like there's always so much you can handle of that, and it's like I love being someone that can be there for someone, but when it's like it's constantly like when you realize that it's more of like a dependency, then you know that like for me it's like I know that I'm not doing that's not my role. I'm not doing a good job as a friend to make someone else dependent upon me or to allow that. And it's just not a good practice in general. If it's okay to vent to people, but like don't make that a practice and don't depend on someone for that. So I would absolutely agree with that one. This is number 2. Let's move on to number 3. If you're constantly forgetting where you put things, say it to yourself out loud when you set it down. So, for instance, I have a pen. I'm putting my pen on the desk. Cool. I'm putting my phone on the chair. Good. I think that actually works. I have tried that a couple times, just like naturally kind of just started saying it. I remember whenever I go home to my parents' home, for some reason I always lose my stuff. I just can't keep it straight, and I think a lot of its time is because there's stuff all over the place. I don't necessarily always have like my space or like my corner. So if I put something that's not like in a like set space, I always lose it unless I like clarify. Okay, I'm putting this on the counter. Come back for this on the counter. Just being more intentional about what you're doing. I think that is just in general, like just in any aspect of your life, if you're more intentional about what you're doing, you're more conscious about what it is that you're doing, you're going to remember things more. Another thing, a pro tip I want to add on to this is if you want to remember what you want to focus on in the morning, focus on that. Confirm that with yourself before you go to bed. Say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And then when you wake up, say, I want to do this, I want to do this, and this, and you won't forget. It'll just be on your mind for the whole day. So yeah, I think that's definitely a useful tip and can be used in a lot of different ways. Life pro tip number 4, before arguing with your loved ones and eventually getting angry, ask yourself whether you are hungry or tired. This could be an issue of misplaced anger, which I actually haven't had to deal with this issue in a while, but like in past relationships, I definitely have. I'm personally not the type of person that is affected. Like my personality or I guess I would say, I don't get as affected from not having food in my system, but there's definitely specific types of people. I would say like more of like people who have more of like a sympathetic type of body, I guess we would say sympathetic type of nervous system versus like I have more of like a parasympathetic type. So it's like my body's more digestive oriented, and it's like it's very much it's more of like it goes at a slower pace. It's not as like reactive. It doesn't need to like release. I guess how would it say that? It doesn't need to, what's the word? Like it's like there's not as much stimulation, you know. There's I guess it's like the difference between an introvert and an extrovert is an extrovert is less stimulated, so they require more stimulation, whereas like an introvert is more stimulated, so like their body and their mind is more stimulated, so they need less stimulation. So it's the same way with your body, sympathetic versus parasympathetic. So essentially, basically, yeah. Bottom line, what I'm saying is like, you know, sympathetics typically are like this. So if you are a sympathetic, you do know that like food affects your mood, food affects your thinking and this or that. I think everyone to some extent has that issue, but yeah, it's definitely a good thing to keep in mind, especially if you have something important to talk about. I've definitely noticed that for myself a few times where I'm like, okay, I shouldn't make any big decisions right now, or I shouldn't bring this up right now because I could really like, it's a good idea just to eat first and then go for it. So I think that's just like a general great idea to follow. So life tip number 5. If someone you know is struggling with mental illness, avoid statements like "it hurts me to see you like this." Comments like these, though well-intentioned, often compound feelings of guilt and hopelessness more than they bolster solidarity. I totally agree. You know, if someone's struggling, you know, someone's going through some stuff and they're coming to you for that, you're your goal, your job is really to let them say whatever they need to say. Usually, it's like I try not to like try and fix things, because it's like that's usually not my place. It's not my place to fix things. Like I can't do anything for you. I can help, like if you ask me for suggestions and guidance, like I can do that. But like if you need to share a problem, or you need to share how you feel, like sometimes just the act of sharing how you feel is a form of healing. And when someone's doing that and then you make it about yourself, then you're literally doing the exact opposite of what you need to do. It's like the most selfish thing you can do in any sort of like situation like that, to make it about yourself, because you're literally just making it worse for that other person. So if anything, if you want to do anything, I think what you do is direct them towards direct their mind towards what it is that they actually want. So it's like maybe they're having this issue. Well, help them to identify what it is that they want. Help them clarify what they want, and then lead them to and then help them to access like memories and states where they were feeling that way at one point in their life, and move them towards that. And that's more of like a neurosemantic NLP approach, but it's a very simple approach as well. If you're interested in learning more of that kind of thing, we actually did on the last stream, I did the first episode of Program Yourself, which we do definitely go into stuff like that. So I don't feel the need to like go into more of that, because there's a whole like 40-minute stream on that from yesterday. So anyways, don't make it about yourself. I totally agree. Don't make it about yourself, and I think you'll find that your life is a lot better. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed those life pro tips. That's all I got for now. Again, check out the website. It is reddit.com/r/lifeprotips. Check that out. That's all I got for today. I hope you all have an amazing rest of the night. I will see you guys on Monday. And enjoy your weekend. Peace and love, my friends.